Frogan says she's got a legal team to defend her against the whole Ethan Klein copyright lawsuit, but I think she's got nobody with a legal license on her side. I'm going to explain how I know why she's probably BSing about the whole legal team, why she's probably going to lose her lawsuit with Ethan Klein as early as next week, and I kind of want to figure out if this whole GoFundMe legal team thing is a crime. Let's start with her actions that seemed like they were smart at first, okay? Because first thing she did after the lawsuit was she shut her mouth completely. And of the 3 streamers who got sued, what was it, Frog Baby, Denims, and Caseytron, she was the only one who said nothing about the case, all right? And I thought, okay, somebody knows the game. Someone's getting some help from some friends. And we've got that whole GoFundMe thing that Frogan set up for her chat to donate money for her legal defense. It's got $40,000 in there. And at first I thought, maybe that'll help. But when you watch my video describing how much she's gonna be liable for in damages, she's liable up to $150,000 in damages. So she's got to settle this case really fast if all she's going to spend is $40K. But Ethan's never going to settle. See, I explained in my very first video covering this that these are his enemies. He's going to crush them. But even still, there is something different now. There's blood in the water, okay? And what I learned yesterday is that there's blood in the water, and if Ethan's lawyer is a shark like me, he can smell that blood. And you know what that blood smells like? It smells like a frog boiling in water. Everything Frogan did after the things I mentioned in the beginning, they just screamed to me that she has no legal team behind her, all right? She has no clue what she's doing, and she's pretty much got no hope. Let's begin. First, she starts dodging service. You know, like when you file a lawsuit against someone, you've got to send them the information about the lawsuit. And it's either to them or their agent, like someone who works for the company, whatever. Frogan is the only one of the 3 streamers who hasn't accepted service. So now Ethan has to hire those guys like in the movies, you know, the ones that hide in bushes and stuff, like, are you Frogan? You've been served. One of those guys. Thing is, Frogan streams from her apartment. Like, her job is tied to where she lives. So they know where she lives. So they served her there, but she hasn't responded in court showing that she's accepted the service. So she's like getting her legal advice from like the chat or Reddit or something. I don't know why she wouldn't reply. In a lawsuit, you only have a certain number of days to reply. In this case, she had 21 days to reply, all right? Otherwise, you lose by default. Default means you just lose and you can't fight the case at all. You can't even bring up any defenses, nothing. The only thing you can fight after a default is you have to say you didn't know about the lawsuit. But then we've got Frogan on stream talking about the lawsuit, okay? She set up a whole legal fund for the lawsuit where she raised $40,000. So she knows about the lawsuit. And they served the papers to where she lives. And they verified where she lives through 2 independent sources that got the correct address. She isn't some spy who's hard to find. She's a public person. The clock is ticking and the water is gonna reach a boiling point on August 4th. That's in 5 days. That's next week. She's only got 5 days to get a lawyer, have the lawyer review the case, and file a response, which is called an answer in federal court. Because if she doesn't do it, then she loses automatically by default. And like I showed you, and I explained earlier, she's gonna be on the hook for up to $150,000 per infringement. Oof. So then that started to make me wonder about this whole legal fund thing. I'm starting to seriously worry that people don't understand you can't just defraud others online. First, she coordinated to commit a blatant, willful copyright infringement. Now she's collecting donations for a legal fund, but all actions point to her not hiring anyone with that legal fund. So does it mean she's committing fraud? Well, yeah. If she tells people she's raising the funds for a legal team, but doesn't use it for that, she'd be opening herself up to punishments by the people who donated, right? Like it'll be a civil liability, but she'd also be committing a fraud and committing a crime, all right? In California, she's in California. California Penal Code 532 makes it illegal in California to steal by false pretense, by tricking people. All right, so then, wait, hold on. Wait. Hold on, there it is. Yeah, scrolling. Oh, there it is. Okay, look, if she committed a false pretense, theft by false pretenses using interstate communications, which is the internet, that would be a federal crime of wire fraud. It's 18 USC section 1343. Okay, so then she'd be committing this federal crime, and now what the DOJ is going to come after her? Can you imagine the DOJ coming after Frogan? Of course, after they release the Epstein files and all that. Go watch my video on that. Yeah, I mean, as a lawyer, I'm pretty sure she doesn't have a lawyer, or she hired a lawyer from like the family or like a neighbor or something, like, and not like my cousin Vinny type of situation, because that would be pretty awesome for her. More like my neighbor's boyfriend's dog does like immigration law, so I'm sure he could represent you in a copyright lawsuit. It's never gonna work. That's not gonna work. Okay, do you guys think she has a lawyer? Be honest. I don't know if she does, because the way she's acting seems really like Like she saw this in a movie somehow and she thinks it's going to work. I mean, what do you think she's going to do with the money if she doesn't actually have a lawyer? Is it going to be like a fugitive Frogan live stream like in the future? I don't know. Let me know. Let me know what you think. But I think she's in trouble.